Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bean Cells podcast, where Beanie Boys banter about brutal bops. It's a lovely day. It's a beautiful day to talk about a beautiful band. And as always, it's me, Manny, and it's him, Shorsh. How you doing, mate?
Hello, I'm doing perfectly fine. I guess,
Perfectly
as I said
fine.
earlier, I might as well add in the. I guess.
Yeah.
Nothing
Well,
much.
you've been like getting all nerdy on a bit of Warhammer 40k, and you've been teaching me about.
I've been super nerdy.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you've
a
been teaching me
fucking
about
nerd.
how fucking metal that is. Like, I was about ready to call you a nerd, and then you sent me like the fucking like the models of these things that you've got.
Yeah, the ones that I chose who enslaved their own gods. Yeah, they're pretty metal.
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, no, that's pretty sick, actually, isn't
They're
it?
also physically metal. They are physically metal as well.
You know what I mean? Like, they're made of iron, and yeah, they enslaved their own gods to turn them into weapons of war. Which, when you sent that to me, I was like, that's the most metal sentence I've seen all year. Like, you know. And if I'm not good for much in life, I'm pretty good at knowing what's metal. I think. I hope. But yeah, speaking of which,
Well, yeah, I've been doing it for a good few years.
yeah, no, man. I to be honest with you, I would be getting bang into some like tabletop RPGs and some D&D if I knew some more people who were willing to actually put the time aside. But oh well, I suppose at one point in life, to be fair, once lockdown's over, yeah, mate, I'm all fucking game. We can.
I've got two armies.
All right, sweet. You'll have to mind my complete and utter ignorance to any of the rules and treat me like a baby. But fuck yeah, man, let's do this.
That's totally fine.
All right, sweet. But they're not here to hear us talk about Warhammer. They're here to hear us talk about the new album.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, who?
Sorry, the doorbell went. Just a second. The doorbell went. Just a second. I'll be back. You continue talking. You do the intro because I'm not needed.
Right.
Don't worry
about it. We
are
here today to talk about the one and the only, one of the most legendary death metal bands of all time, without question, Cannibal Corpse, with what I believe is their 15th album, Violence Unimagined. Now, this band's been going for like over 30 years. Their first album dropped 31 years ago. And in that time, they've basically become one of the most basically, I'd argue maybe the most famous death metal band of all time, right? Would you agree that Cannibal Corpse might be the most famous death metal band of all time? Possibly.
Most famous death metal band that is still alive. Yeah.
So this is the thing that's fucking crazy about Cannibal Corpse, right? As I was just saying, their first album came out 31 years ago, and I cannot think of a single other band in death metal that are still going who still so reliably produce legitimately heavy music, like every fucking time, like, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They haven't had, I don't think, a single album I would call bad. Not really. There are albums I'd like less because I'm not.
Unlike say someone like
Don't do it. Don't do it. I know we're talking about Cannibal, and I know it's going to be like irresistible to go there at one point, but not yet. We're not going to bash him just yet. We can't.
Dude, I was just comparing it because you were saying that there's no death metal band who's able to do what Cannibal does, and I'm just saying. Sorry, day aside, right? Fuck you.
Day aside, to me, have had a couple of they've had one album.
Yeah, they've had stinkers.
I think there's two in their back. There's one which is mediocre and one which is shit, right? But like, yeah, Cannibal, I would say, I don't think they've ever had a genuinely bad album. And in that time, even late career, right? There's albums they put out which I think they can rank among their best, and that's fucking bananas. Like, legitimately, completely.
They would have had a bad album. No, they would have had a bad album if they kept Chris Barnes after the bleeding.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, obviously, like, you know, they in my opinion, they switched out for a much better vocalist. I know that's a point of hot contention amongst the fan base, but I've always been a corpse grinder guy, man. Like, I've always loved how fucking bestial and deep and powerful his. It's too fucking good, man. Like, I genuinely love that guy's vocals, and yeah, I mean, I suppose that's a good place to start, man. On this album, the guy sounds...
He sounds pretty fucking sick, doesn't he?
I can't get over how fucking like how insane this guy still sounds. Like he's what? Like he's in his 50s, right?
50s.
Like, and he legitimately still sounds fucking like monstrous. It's insane. Like, and
The
like
part that amazes me is that he's doing a new vocal like technique that I've never really heard from him. At least, I mean, I haven't listened to. In some parts, he does more of like a shrieky type of high, whereas most of the time, because obviously he's going very, very fast, he can only really keep to one tone. But this time around, at like the end of his sentences, he'd bring it up and do like a shrieky type thing. I don't know if I know it's on Murderous Rampage, like within the first few minutes.
And he literally like has like one of the best lines on the album where he just goes slaughtered for no fucking reason. Like that part always catches my ear, and it just. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what I want from this band. But now he's definitely got the highs in before. Like I've heard him. Like
I mean he's brought highs in before, but here he's because like it would normally just be at the end of a line he'd do it because obviously he wouldn't really be able to. I mean I guess like I guess in like Blood Drenched Execution there's that whole chorus where it's just a high scream where it says Blood Drenched Execution. But no, I don't know. I guess it kind of just jumped to me because I saw someone complaining about Corpse's vocals on this one. Not Corpse's, Jesus. That made it sound like I was talking about a totally different artist. We're not talking about him. We're talking about Corpse Grinder. But complaining about Corpse Grinder's vocals because of the shrieky stuff that it was doing, and I was like, well, I'll listen to this and see what they mean. I could see what they mean by being shriekier than just a normal high. It sounds like something new that he's added to his vocal range. Excuse me. And personally, I think that it's pretty sick.
I love it.
I mean, about this album.
I mean, like the thing. So, in terms of like the highs getting shriekier, I guess I can kind of see where they're coming from with that. But the thing you've got to keep in mind is the fact the dude is now in his 50s, and I can compare this to another vocalist. I can't remember his name, but he's the vocalist for Cataclysm, right? Now I'm quite a big fan of Cataclysm, especially back in the day. And as the years have gone on, his high screams have become shit. Like the guy, like legitimately sounds like he just kind of sounds like there's something frying in his mouth. Like,
dude, it sounds like
he's lost all the power of it.
Yeah, the recent Lividity lineup. I don't know if you really know what's going on with them.
No,
they have a backup vocalist, and dude, his vocals are weird. He just sounds like I
kind of like that kind of thing, though. It's kind of like
maybe I did it too well, so I don't know, dude. I can't actually do it,
Yeah, sure, but yeah, no, it's like the guy's in his 50s now, and I think like the high vocal as you get older is particularly like I mean, like that does wear down.
Oh yeah, because it's way harder on your throat.
Yeah, so I think the fact that the guy can still do this stuff, but he's still doing the like occasionally doing the real rapid fire shit. Which, like, I don't know if you, I don't know if you've ever tried.
Edited his vocabulary.
Have you ever tried to do that, like, that really, like, rapid fire, like, growl stuff? It is fucking so hard.
I've tried doing it to an Archspire song, and I know people are going to shit on me for liking
Good luck with that, mate.
People are going to shit on me for liking Archspire. The song of Dark Horizons. For fuck's sake! Someone else can get it.
Fuck the doorbell. We're talking about Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah. Well, I spoke at the moment, but what was I saying? I tried that, and I think it was to a Dark Horizontal, and I was like, oh yeah, the chorus is easy because it's like a bit slow, but then after like the faster parts, fuck that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, fucking.
I mean Archspire is the epitome of like Archspire vocals.
Yeah, no.
Wait, what? Archspire is the epitome of Archspire vocals. Of course they are. They're fucking Archspire. Archspire is the epitome of shotgun vocals.
Yeah.
Obviously, Corpse Grinder being probably one of the first people to kind of do it. I don't know.
I mean, to the best of my knowledge, I'm sure there's some metal nerds.
Because most death metal bands were just being like, just taking slower and just being bellowing type of stuff, right? Or if not, they're just trying to get as guttural as possible because that was spawned because of Chris Barnes.
Yeah. I mean, but the one of the things which is really impressive about when he does it that fast is that there's still like intonation and pronunciation.
Oh yeah, dude,
you can
you
legitimately
can hear every word he says. You can understand it.
Yeah,
everything he says is understandable.
Which is is extremely fucking hard to do. Like, and there's so many lines on this album which just as you're listening to it, just they really stick out to you. Just there's one on here called Bound and Burned or Burned and Bound. I'm still shit with songs.
Yeah, I think it's Bound and Burned.
The lyrics to that seem
being burned and bound would be a bit weird.
Yeah.
Wrong way around.
The lyrics to that seem really dark. It sounds like about, I would guess it's about someone who's been imprisoned and tortured and abused, kind of getting revenge back.
You kind of get the meaning of each. I mean, there's no meaning behind each song. I mean, this is Cannibal Corpse. They're all fucking B horror movies, not B movie. I think we talked about this in the fucking Sam Sittenbug video, didn't we? We were trying to differentiate B movie between B horror movie. We're not talking about B's. We're not talking about Barry Benson here. We're talking about fucking shitty horror movies. So I mean, there's not really meaning behind each song. It is just senseless torturing and killing. But did you notice?
There's one song on here which is about COVID, man. There's one song about here which
would that be a song that I'm not going to name because we like going through each song, but I think I know exactly which one it is because it has it basically in the title. But have you listened to this album on your phone whilst you were at the house when you had internet? Oh wait, no, of course you haven't because your phone shut the bed.
My phone's fucked, mate.
Yeah, no, but I'll go with Murderous Rampage because that's the song. That's the first song, and we know the title of that one. But every song has like one of these backgrounds where it's like an image type of thing. My screen's gonna fuck it up, but you see what I mean?
I can see that. Lots of blood.
Yeah, and it's like the baby, but like each different song has a different art piece by Vincent Locke. So just looking at that, you can see like what each song is about, or like kind of how they're killing, shit like that. You know?
How they're killing, but yeah,
how they're killing.
If we want to start like going through each individual track, which I am perfectly fine with doing, mate.
Because that's what we did with Samuel Sigerbog.
But Murderous fucking Rampage. Now that's how you open an album, isn't it?
That's also how, after 31 years of your first album, you perfectly call back to that album.
Yeah, it's very Eaten Back to Life, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the thrash part is here. Actually, you know what? Before we go into songs, we should probably talk about the main thing on this album,
which is
they have a new guitarist.
Oh yeah, no, good old Eric Rutan.
We were gonna go over that. Yeah, so basically, they used to have Pat O'Brien. He got into a few issues. He was very Cannibal Corpse in his real life.
A little bit too Cannibal Corpse in his real life. A little bit too
Cannibal Corpse. So he is now in prison. Shit, I don't actually really know if he's in prison.
I think he's kind of getting the help he needs because it did sound like he had some like mental issues that he needed addressing.
It surprised me. The man was very odd. I mean, I remember one interview. Literally at the start of it, he goes, "Drink beer, shoot guns, play guitar," and that's all he does. So you know, we can see the problem. But either way, their good friend Eric Rutan, who has produced every single album since Kill.
Yeah, I think so.
Every single album since Kill, which he owns Manor Recordings. And also, you may know Eric Rutan from the fucking amazing band Hate Eternal. I love that band. Also Ripping Corpse, but that only lasted a few years.
Ripping Corpse is fucking sick, though. I haven't listened to them.
Yeah, I'm saying, but Hate Eternal is still ongoing. But yeah, so they got Eric Rutan from Hate Eternal to play because he's a good friend of theirs, and also he's a fucking sick guitarist.
Yeah,
man loves. As a guitarist, obviously, I've tried to learn some Hate Eternal songs. Failed pretty badly.
I mean, Hate Eternal are like infamous for being one of the faster death metal bands.
It's like nothing super technical or anything. It's so fucking fast. And then like the whole song is just on the double bass drum, it's like my fucking head is going to explode if I listen to the same part more than twice.
Hate Eternal are like one of the first bands I ever came across. So I was like, every single one of these fucking songs is like over 300 BPM.
Dude, that's exactly what I was like when I first found them.
Yeah, they're like insane speeds, like absolutely fucking nuts. But yeah, obviously, in order to play at those kinds of speeds, you need to have some chops. And the dude is a brilliant guitar.
And the guy loves his octaves.
He does.
He loves using octaves. His solos are like dripping with wah, and it's never really super technical, but they sound so good. Chef's kiss on Eric Rutan solos. And thankfully, since he's the lead guitarist on this, there's Eric Rutan solos.
Yeah, like I always feel as though for someone who's sort of known for playing so fast, he's very expressive, and that's not easy. Like to really. Oh
yeah, dude, his solos are never, because I think he understands that in Hate Eternal especially, that the music is so fucking fast that adding like a whammy wanking solo or just a fucking bunch of notes for a solo is gonna really fuck with someone. So the solo is the tone down in the song, and it's just like throughout the entire fucking thing, just sustaining with this wah, and it's so like it's
like that's like my favorite stuff.
It makes it so much you can somewhat breathe, because adding another layer of fast guitars is like, that's just gonna not work. But now that we've spoken about Eric Rutan, let's continue into the album.
Yeah, so with this new edition, I don't know which songs he wrote on the album. Actually, I have not done my research good and proper.
I know he definitely wrote one of them.
I think he wrote two. If I'm not, I read somewhere that he wrote two. But
I think yeah.
But yeah, it starts off with Murderous Rampage, which it sounds exactly as the title suggests. It just straight away. There's no like build up. There's no thing. You'll just hit with that. So good, mate.
Yeah.
Like.
And then like the classic, like, that type of shit. That was spawned on vinyl.
Yeah. Oh man, that's. It sounds like the kind of thing that you would have on headphones while taking a submachine gun to a city street. Like, you know what I mean? Just it sounds exactly as it. No, it really does.
I mean, it is about a murderous rampage.
Yeah.
So
slaughtered for no fucking reason.
Probably with a knife though, because writing death metal songs by disaboweling and cutting people is way more fun than just bullet shot went through brain, dead.
Yeah, well, it depends on if you care more about like your technique or if you just want to see a body count rise in it. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on your methods. You know?
Yeah, personally, in my death metal lyrics, I prefer technique and actually getting in there rather than just body count.
We don't sound weird at all.
No,
but yeah, no. It like, what a fucking opener! Like it comes in. It kind of it's a fucking fast paced, proper like relentless fucking. I mean, it's perfect. It's genuinely like that. That's how I want Cannibal Corpse to open their fucking records with an absolute kick to the face. And it doesn't stop either, because the next song, Necrogenic Resurrection, which I've got to say, man, like that kind of like lead work in like the verses, oh man, it moistens me. It really does, like the kind of like,
get that feeling.
It's fucking wonderful, man. Like it's genuinely brilliant. Like I really love like the sort of like the little fucking thing. It also, I think that song also has the first like slow down chug section on it as well, which I mean,
we definitely get way more slow down chug sections, and that's what you love from Cannibal Corpse, because I know that you fuck with the song "As No Escape" by Scourge Vine.
Scourge of Iron is it might be my favorite, to be honest. It might be, but yeah, I love it when this band gets a stomp on. To me, like when they do go just like fucking like just like on that fucking top string, just gen. There's something about how the way that they stomp, which I like, to me is like, I'm not sure another band does it quite as well within like just straight death metal.
Caveman brain.
It just like, it's just so satisfying. Like you can just hear the whole band.
That's what I just said.
See, I'm so fucking caveman.
Satisfies the caveman brain.
Indeed.
Said, satisfies the caveman brain. And I just went, it's so satisfying. It's like, oh shit.
But yeah, like another brilliant track, and it like when that, I think the highlight of that tune for me definitely
also probably up there with one of the better titles on this album. I mean, this album is full of titles.
Oh yeah, no,
that's just Cannibal Corpse, isn't it?
Yeah,
they are so good at coming up with titles.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and the next one, Inhumane Harvest. You know, it just sounds
the first single on this album.
Yeah, which I think is a pretty good choice. I like as the first single.
Yeah,
good riffing. Definitely some good riffing.
Yeah, like you said, I know this isn't like a standard metal band where they have some singy song parts, but usually your singles, singles would be the ones that would have the more singable, more like listenable parts. I mean, this is the part where they slow down. And he just shouts the word "Inhumane Harvest."
Yeah.
During that, which works so very well as a single, because it's like fucking Inhumane Harvest, lad. Let's go.
It's definitely catchy. I mean, well, I won't say too much about it. For me, the catchiest song on the album is probably Surround, Kill, Devour. Just that's got a legitimate.
That chorus.
That chorus is fucking so catchy. But yeah, we'll get to that. That would have been my choice for a first single, because that's legitimately like pop, like almost pop music catchy, like kind of, but still brutal as fuck. Anyway, Inhumane Harvest. I mean, I think as though it was a good choice of single, because it does kind of set the tone for the album really well in terms of like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's got that real.
It also works with the album cover, I think. I mean, obviously, over here, and most of the album cover that you'll see is the one that looks like is it Melina from Mortal Kombat? I think it's that one.
Kind of, yeah.
It's one of the two. When she takes off the mask, you don't want that. You don't want that going near you. You don't want that going near you.
No,
but that's totally what that album cover looks like, unless if obviously you have the uncensored version, but Spotify's a bunch of pussies.
I mean, for anyone that hasn't seen the uncensored version, which I can't imagine they haven't,
look at it
watching this video.
Actually, no. I can imagine that most people who are going to be watching this video haven't gotten to this point and don't give a shit. It's just because they're my friends and they're like,
well, all of my friends and Shaw's friends, go and look up the uncensored version of the new Cannibal Corpse album.
We're far too late. We're like 15 minutes in. They won't get this far.
No. There's someone watching. I want to traumatize at least one person. Go.
You know what? I'll just fucking show it to them. I mean, they've seen the Butchered Up Birth album cover, because I had that on a mask and I lost the fucker. I don't know where it's gone.
It does like genuinely warm my heart that in 2021, when we live in an age of like everyone being very sensitive on Twitter and people getting cancelled, that Cannibal Corpse legitimately went, you know what we need, guys? We need some dead fucking babies. we need to go
Dude,
back
not
to
just
the
a dead baby.
days.
A woman that has ripped out her baby from her womb to specifically eat it.
Yeah.
How fucked is that?
It's genuinely like, it warmed my heart when I saw it. And I know that makes me sound like a
And also, it continues with the thing of Cannibal Corpse got a little bit pissed off with Chris Barnes for always being so misogynistic. Here, it's definitely the woman that's the main figure. She's eaten 3 dudes and now eating her own baby.
That's
but also to be pretty death metal, there's also some TNA on the album cover, but that's just like every death metal band. If there's ever a woman on a death metal album cover, I can tell you, they will not be close.
She's probably gonna, but she seems like she's not nude for the sake of being nude. She's nude because she's just given birth.
No,
and she's feasting
savage.
off of her own.
No, also she's savage. Yeah,
exactly. You know what I mean? But yeah,
no, that's what I mean as well. For them going back to the old school. I mean, we were talking. It sounds a lot like Eating Back to Life. Obviously, the Eating Back to Life album cover. Well, I guess it could reminisce to the Eating Back to Life album cover. It's the Eating Back to Life one isn't as brutal, but it's someone ripping apart themselves. I know a baby isn't technically herself, but it's still connected to her.
Good point.
From the umbilical cord. The Eating Back to Life cover is the guy just ripping out his own chest and eating it. And then after you've got the Butchered at Birth cover in there because it's just dead babies.
Yeah, can't go wrong with some dead babies. This is Cannibal Corpse, you know what I mean? To me, it's sort of like them going.
So it definitely brings it back. It's them kind of going
like, you know what? We're fucking Cannibal Corpse. If you get pissed off at us, we've been doing this shit for 30 years. If you get pissed off at us now,
1 years.
You knew what you were signing up for. You know what we're about. We're like, you know what I mean? We are the fucking kings of gore in the metal world. We always have been. We probably always fucking will be. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a statement of intent. But yeah, Inhumane Harvest, again, really fucking good track. That was a long ass tangent. But yeah, we'll move on to the next one, which if my phone wants to stop being a fucking dick, it will say it's
I'll say.
Go on.
Oh, bollocks. I could say the album titles because you can't read your phone. Actually, you know that just makes more sense.
It is Condemnation Contagion, right?
Nation Contagion.
Yeah, which as I referenced earlier, is definitely about COVID. Like, which to me that's fucking cool. Like, there are certain lines. You can hear him say, like he says about a respiratory disease. Is this the end of all that we know? Like, you know, and like, I just love the fact that they've actually decided to get a bit fucking topical and kind of talk about, like, you know, the thing that's been dominating our fucking lives for the best part of like a year and a bit, but it's told through the Cannibal Corpse lens of like, humanity has been like choking and suffering and falling to death in the streets. It's just, you know, I'd
also, there's a riff. There's a riff on here, isn't there?
Oh yeah, mate. There's a couple of them, mate. Like I love the kind of the more.
This whole song is a riff.
Yeah,
I think Eric talking about this one because did you see?
It sounds. I love that riff because that riff sounds ill.
Oh, like have you Metal Blade released a video of Eric Rutan playing through this song on guitar? That's why I think Eric Rutan must have written this song. And someone wrote in the comments, fucking like the meme type where it's like me, and officer said, Eric, how many power chords are in this song? And then officer says, Eric, yes, because this fucking song is like just when you're watching him, he's like this, just with all the fucking power chords all over the place. It's insane.
Yeah,
and power chords are not the most technical thing. You literally hold your two fingers like that, and then you fucking fret them. But this guy's like down and up the fretboard, and obviously goes in between them.
I mean, power chords might not be the most technical thing, but in order to get your hands into all those shapes that quickly, like that does require some serious fucking like finger work. And he definitely does manage to be both dexterous and really fucking heavy, which that's what I like in a death metal guitarist in general. I love the section as well, which kind of sounds a little bit more like almost morose. It sounds like kind of like melodic in a really like bleak way, which is the part where it's sort of saying like, is this the end of all that we know? I love that part. Like it kind of really brings home like the kind of the bleak nature of the fucking pandemic. But it's I think this is one of the fucking album highlights for me. I think this is fucking excellent. Like just a really good song. You know what I mean? Like some death metal bands, I think sometimes forget to write songs, and I think that's the thing that stood them in such good stead as a band.
I mean, we're at a point where, especially all the younger death metal bands.
Oh god, it's playing on my phone. Shut the fuck up. Okay, sorry.
So right,
go ahead.
Especially the maggot stomp lads. They're obviously very much all old school. All of them are saying, also Regurgitation said it, and they're not there. They are like the brutal death metal band. They're an old lot, and so they've been around for some time. And lots of like these bands are saying that death metal people are just trying to push it to be as extreme as possible, but not riff wise. It's just everything's technical as fuck. Every time I say technical, I say it in a fucking Australian accent, but that's because it's technical death metal. But technical death metal. But no. Otherwise, there are a lot of tech death bands who are just coming out now, and the brutality the brutality gets lost. That was me when I heard Condemnation Contagion. But no, like the brutality gets lost in all the speed and stuff, and forgetting to write a chunky riff.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like, and to me, this is a really good segue into the next song, which is Surround, Kill, Devour, because, like I was saying, songwriting, I think, is one of the main things that has made Cannibal Corpse like stick around. Like they actually do write like memorable songs that actually have like structure to them, and like I've said, this chorus is so fucking catchy. Like what?
Yeah, it is
ridiculous. Yes. Like I've literally had just like surround, kill, devour, like just it's just oh mate, it's a hook. It's a legitimate hook. I've been like fucking walking around like going to Tesco with this fucking song in my head.
Every example you talk about whenever you're on about a song, it's always I'm walking to Tesco or at Tesco.
Is that all you do in your life? I walk around in my day-to-day life with music going around in my fucking head all the time.
Same. Like no matter where I walk, I've always got music in my skull.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if I'm actually listening to it in headphones or not. Like I've always got some going around in my head. So, but yeah, no, I legitimately, I'm walking around, I'm on the bus, whatever the fuck, and this fucking song is in my fucking head. It's so catchy. And yeah, no, Corpse Grinder on this, he comes forth with some like ridiculous vocals on this. I think he does some of the rapid fire stuff on this track, and it's just I like his fucking like pronunciation and enunciation is just excellent. I mean, it's part of why it's so catchy. But yeah, no, other death metal bands take note. This is how, like, if you want people to fucking remember you, right? Write fucking tune, write actual songs, like actual songs. Because this is like, I can't put this fucking song down occasionally. I've listened to this outside the context of the album a few times just because it's such an earworm.
Yeah, Condemnation Contagion is the one that I've listened to the most, probably, that I haven't been able to put down.
Yeah, no, Condemnation Contagion is definitely one of the best songs on the album.
I think I'm very biased towards it though, because I saw Eric Rutan play it, and
that's a fair bias though, because I mean,
that makes me think that he wrote it, and that makes me love it more because I love Eric Rutan.
So do I.
Yeah.
You know, I do think that his addition to the band is just such a good thing. Like he's just such an excellent fucking guitarist. Like, and his style is just like the little bit of influence.
It would have been fun to maybe hear him do some guest vocals.
Yeah, but you know, at the same time, like I can understand
Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, where it's his first album on, you know what I mean? Like I guess he's just trying to transition nicely. He does. Can you tell me the name of the next song, please? Because my phone has completely fucked it.
Ritual Annihilation.
Yeah. Tell us about Ritual Annihilation.
You know what? My brain's blank now.
Mine is too. Even though I've listened to this album a fair few times, I'm not.
I haven't listened to it.
I know this is a really, really good tune, though.
Good song. Yeah.
Yeah. Although if we're both being silly boys, we can both skip it. That's fine.
I think, was this one of the chuggier ones, or was this one fast?
I know. I think the next one gets very slow. Wait a minute. Let me see if my phone. Because no, Follow the Blood is where it gets really sludgy. I think
yeah.
I think this one kind of is a good combination of the both. But to be honest with you, I want to talk about Follow the Blood. If neither of us can remember this off the top of our heads, that's fine. No one's coming here for professionalism, right? But Follow the Blood is another contender for me for my favorite track on the album. Like you said,
the Blood is extremely good. That song is so fucking good. It's probably about war or something. Because
it's likely. I haven't read into the lyrics too deeply.
The background of it on Spotify. I don't know. Do I bother? Can you see that?
I can. Yeah, it's a soldier. I can see that.
Yeah, it's a soldier with human heads wrapped around, like a predator type of thing, with human heads wrapped around his belt. So it's something about war.
But yeah,
it's beautiful art.
This to me combines two of my favorite things about Cannibal Corpse. The aforementioned stomp. This is like one of the slower songs on the album where you get the stomp. But this is also one of the only tunes on the album where we get a fair bit of Alex. Alex is one of the best fucking bassists in metal.
I'm trying to get us views.
Hello, man. You know what I mean? Like your cat just wants in on the brutality. You know what I mean?
My cat actually does love like all music. Whenever you turn music on, he like goes straight to it. And
really?
Purring.
Oh
yeah. You know how cats like do you not want to be on the Bean Cells podcast?
Oh,
you can speak instead. We can't see you, mate. You're very black. We can see your eyes. But
that's a cute
you know how cats like rub up against things. Stuff
yeah.
Whenever there's music, he rubs up against whatever's playing it.
Oh, he must like the vibration. You must think the speaker's powering. Bless. What cutie. But yeah, follow the blood. We get one of the only real points in the record where like Alex really stands out. Like from
there's another song where Alex really stands out as well because he's the only thing there.
but like he is like one of my favorite bass players in metal, like pretty solidly. To me, he's always been one of my favorite parts of Cannibal. Like throughout the whole thing.
Invented the death metal way of playing bass, right?
Yeah, more or less. You know what I mean?
Sure, he's not the first death metal bassist, and Cannibal Corpse are far from being the first death metal band. But he did everything finger-style, whereas some bassists would, lots of death metal bassists would use a pick.
I mean, like, would Hammer Smash Face be as iconic without that?
Yeah.
Like, I doubt it. That's like one of the best bass breaks in any fucking song. Because it's finger picked,
it's even better. But yeah, he came up with the trick of like doing three fingers to do what? Hold up, one second. Music terminology, not triplets. No, he plays straight fours with his fingers, with three fingers. Because you can do triplets. You go. However, though, he can just go with three fingers and make it sound like it's four.
What a fucking madman!
I don't know, because it's like something where you go 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 1 1
yeah,
2 3.
Right.
Something like that. Ask George, he would know because he's like the Alex Webster way of playing bass.
No, but he is legitimately
madman. Because he always says the pinky finger, if the pinky finger's touching, it's wrong.
Yeah, no, he's he also has always seemed like one of the nicest guys, like in general. Like you see him in interviews, he's just chillest to fucking chill. Like I've always
very chill, and he's like they always describe him as being too humble. He's far too humble for himself. And the scariest part is, have you seen that video where he gets angry at that dude on stage when some guy threw like a beer can at him?
No.
Like, at his fucking face. Have you seen that video? And he actually gets pissed off. It's weird and it's fucking scary. Because people who don't get angry often, it's really scary when they get pissed because that means something's happened.
Yeah, no.
Because he actually like fully grabs the mic off Course Grinder, which is a ballsy move. You know?
Yeah.
The dude's huge. And literally like goes, whoever the fuck threw that big cat at me, I'll go do that and I'll beat the shit out of you, man. I'll beat the fucking shit out of you. It's not cool. And just hands it back and just goes back to playing bass.
Yeah, no,
I'll try to
imagine that would be absolutely terrifying. But more terrifying than any of the things that Cannibal Corpse talk about.
Yeah, dude, because he's always so nice, always so humble. He's always like seems like he's happy to be interviewed.
Like he's always, like when people have said to him like, "Oh yeah," like said, "You're like, oh, you're considered like the best bass player in death metal." He's just like, yeah, I'm not that good. It's just that I always insist that you can actually hear me. I think it's just because people can actually hear me, they just think I'm good. It's like, dude, you're
I remember
brilliant.
It was like,
what?
Yeah, he played on the Blotted Science fucking album.
Yeah,
didn't he?
Mate, Blotted Science. I mean,
dude,
I'm not a
fan
for that. But Blotted,
no, it's very widdly. But however, that's difficult.
Yeah, no, that is like legitimate, like man.
And he says, "Oh yeah, I'm happy that he thinks I'm as good as some of the bassists, but that thing wasn't easy, and I think I really struggled to play it live." It's like,
yeah, fuck that. But yeah, on Follow the Bloods, to get back to the songs.
Yes.
Yeah,
this over Alex Webster.
Yeah, this is like the first real sludge fest of the album, and oh, it's so good. Like it stomps in that way, which I for me personally is just my favorite speed that Cannibal go to. It's a headbanger, but then also we get some really cool like atmospheric kind of touches, and that's where he comes in, and he kind of provides some fucking really interesting. I think he starts almost kind of playing chords at one point, and it kind of gives it like a really strange atmosphere. It's really good, man. But
bass playing like chords is like when you're holding it, because sometimes it'll just be like a or they'll just fucking spread their things out and hit the whole thing. But when you're like actually just holding a chord and just hold it like that, because it's so low, it's like almost like fucking pummeling into your head. And create this weird ass atmosphere.
It's really
so
fucking that part of the song.
Bass is like one of the most beautiful instruments. Honestly, if I'd known what a bass guitar was when I was looking to start playing an instrument, I would have definitely picked a bass guitar. It's just I didn't know that bass guitars were a thing.
To be fair, you can do both.
I could pick up bass. I could.
You know, but I know what you mean. Like, I think especially in metal, I don't think people give metal bassists anywhere near enough credit. Like, you get a lot of the jokes about like, oh, you're in a band, oh, you're the bassist. Like, man, I really think that like so much of like what makes
the reason why they get joked about is because usually it's whoever's the worst guitarist gets put onto bass. And then often because they're a bad guitarist, they're also a bad bassist, and they're not really interested. But when you have someone who's actually a bassist and who plays more than just a root note, especially, I mean, in death metal, once again, Alex Webster says that you really shouldn't be doing anything else than what the guitar's doing, because otherwise it creates way too much dissonance. Unless it's like a bass solo or something like that. But if the guitar's going off to a solo and you're the backline, because there's no other like guitar part, rhythm guitar part.
Yeah, right.
Dude, play the fuck out those chords. Play the fuck out whatever you want, and rip a bass solo. Honestly, bass solos are so good.
But bass solos are fucking stupidly underrated. I like. There's definitely not enough of them. When you get a good one as well, they're so satisfying. It's just like, like you get it because it's at a lower frequency as well. It gets to the gut, but also it's kind of it has that kind of
it's like usually they'll start off low, and you don't really realize it enough to get to like slide down to a really high down. You're like, holy. Dude, I just heard a bass solo.
Yeah, no, it's the Cliff Burton effect, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It's, unless if you're listening to the like one of the bass solos and Torn Between Sinner and Charybdis by Trivium, because at the start it sounds like a fucking trumpet. What was up with that?
I remember when we did the fucking discography review. That really caught me off guard when you told me that.
Because it starts off like that, and afterwards you're like, oh wait, that's a bass because it continues. But yeah, Cannibal Corpse bass, good.
Yeah, Cannibal Corpse bass, good, most certainly. Yeah, no, Follow the Blood. That's a banger. That's one of the best songs of the album for me personally. But yeah, now Bound and Burned. Now I think there's quite a lot lyrically that, like I said earlier, that I've actually was able to pick up off of this, and this one sounds dark. Like I haven't done like much reading into it, but this one sounds.
Yeah, the image for this one is literally someone like strapped to a chair and being burned alive.
Yeah,
so that's pretty bleak.
Yeah, it sounds like someone who's been a sort of a victim of some kind of like some kind of violence or some kind of abuse, like kind of getting back at the person who's been doing it to them. Like what's that one lyric where he says like the violence has now resurfaced and there's no way to reverse it, and it's sort of him saying about like subject to torment and feelings of shame. Like it kind of has, it seems like there's a lot of stuff about like someone being really abused, and they kind of, and I love that because again throughout their career Cannibal have been known for being lyrically from you could kind of say from the point of view of the abuser, whereas to me just from an entertainment
where it's kind of
view,
senseless.
Yeah, or from an entertainment point of view,
like
I like revenge stuff. I like stuff which is about someone who's been, like abused, or they've had something done upon them, and so they decide to take matters into their own hands and fuck shit up. Like that's just always entertaining to me. So big fan of that. But yeah, it also does seem to be legitimately quite fucked up in like a more in less of like a gory B movie way, and more in like that line where forced into torment and feelings of shame. You know what I mean? Like that's not like
you
slaughtered for no fucking reason. That's like we're talking about like psychological degradation. Like we're talking
about something that's been happening for a while.
You know what I mean? And that to me also adds to the gravity of the violence when it comes. You know what I mean? But yeah, really good fucking tune though. Like really, really cool. Fucking like for some real heavy riffing going on this too. But to me, that's my favorite part of the song. Anything you want to add about this tune?
No, you kind of said it all. There's definitely some fucking riffs, but then again, like that's Cannibal Corpse in it.
It is. And then we get on to Slowly Sawn, which I love because this instrumental legitimately sounds like someone being slowly sawn. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I thought, is this actually an instrumental track all the way through? Or are there vocals? Because I think there was one part where there's vocals, right? It's mainly instrumental.
Am I a fucking moron for not noticing that there was, because that didn't jump out at me. I think he might be right. I think he might be right, but yeah, I definitely. Because
I remember like one part where there was vocals, but however those like mainly instrumentals. I remember thinking that it was just going to be an instrument, but I think that
it's not. It's definitely not without precedent. There's that song "Gallery of Suicide," which is entirely instrumental, which is dope.
Yeah, called "From Skin to Legwood."
Yeah, I love that fucking track. It's so cool. So they've definitely had instrumentals before, but maybe I'm a moron and didn't notice. but yeah, very fucking.
Maybe I'm a moron and just put something there that wasn't there.
No, man. I mean, but yeah, very very cool track. Next one is Over.
Yeah, I just said that. This one.
Go on.
No. This one definitely sounds exactly like the song title, or just like someone just fucking hooking you up. The way that I imagine it is like the old way where they would have you upside down and saw from the crotch down first. And just
have you ever seen the film? Have you ever seen the film Terrifier?
No, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's an evil clown movie. It's got a dude who kills people and he's a clown. And there's a bit in that where he gets this lady upside, like nude. She's upside down and that like suspended from both legs. He just gets fucking hacksaw and fucking saws her from her fucking private.
Like they did in the old days.
Yeah, right in the crevice.
There was also
upward.
a Dying Fetus t-shirt that was like that.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking. It's pretty. The film itself, I mean, it's got the guy who plays the clown does a great performance, but the film itself isn't great. But that fucking kill stuck with me. That will make your girlfriend cross her legs. It's fucked up. But yeah,
finally, we have something that makes women feel the same pain as when we see someone get hit in the fucking balls. I should talk about that though. Now I've been reminded of Sleepaway Camp where they get the curling iron and.
Oh yeah.
That's not even on screen, is it? That's in a shadow. That's
no.
Eat shit and live.
Yeah, eat shit and live, Bill. I fucking love Sleepaway Camp. But
such a good line. Such a good line.
It is brilliant. But yeah, Slowly Sawn, well, good. And then we get to Over Torture, which this sounds exactly. I was playing for my fucking phone again. I'm very, very sorry. My fucking thing. Right. Like, hopefully we don't get a copyright strike. But yeah, Over Torture, if I'm not
I don't
mistaken,
think we will from just because that's all that you can hear.
All right, but Over Torture, if I'm not mistaken, is the one that sounds a lot like Scourge of Iron. So I'm perfectly fine with this existing. I'm pretty sure.
No, I think was it Over Torture was faster, was it not the last one that sounds like Scourge of Iron?
Yeah, you're probably right. What does Over Torture sound like then?
Over Torture is 2 minutes long, so I do not think it's just. I remember that one.
No, I think Over Torture is the one where they get thrashy with it again, right?
Yeah, for sure. I really love that track. The next one's definitely the one where they get Scourge of Iron, because I remember listening to this as like, well, Manny's gonna suck this one off, isn't he?
Well, we'll get to that when it's due. But I remember Over Torture now. Like that's kind of like the last fucking like proper like balls to the wall. Yeah. Fuck you thrash track. It goes bloody hard. Yeah, but to be
so good.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking brutal, mate. It's pretty fucking brutal. I can't remember that much about it though, to be perfectly honest. So, I swear to God, I've listened to this album like 7 times. Like, I promise you, it's just my memory.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with a 42-minute long death metal album. Some of it just kind of soups together.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, you know what I mean. But like, yeah, I
thought
do
it was
remember
a bit long.
It's a bit, but yeah. I kind of want to just get to Cerements of the Flayed because I think that's how it's pronounced. Cerements. Yeah, it's got to be Cerements. Yes. Yeah, it's a lot like Scourge of Iron. Like it's a lot like Scourge of Iron. Yeah, it's got that like, same stompy fucking like groove to it, which it's huge. I love it. And there's a lyric where he says something about like. If I'm not mistaken, it's like he's been like attached to someone through their skin, and they're still alive, which is like why must I die this way? And it's just
it's like the more brutal lyrics to Together as One. If Chuck Schuldiner didn't end up disliking the whole death metal thing.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fucking grim, but sounds. I mean,
flaying people usually is like it's flaying people and being interested in skin usually is pretty fucking grim.
Flaying someone is like literally removing everyone's skin.
Yes, that is what flaying is. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well yeah.
To be honest, we both made mistakes in English. I totally got the mistake wrong with the word voluptuous, didn't I?
There you go. Yeah, you thought voluptuous was some like a disgusting wart, whereas actually it's like someone who is curvaceous in figure. But yeah, no,
I could never have been more wrong.
No, but like
it just doesn't make sense to me.
Voluptuous could sound like it's like a fucking cancerous mass sticking out someone, but no.
To me it sounds like a voluptuous lump or something like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It has that kind of medical like quality to it, doesn't it? I know.
What I'm saying is a sexy lump.
Like I guess a lovely space princess from Adventure Time.
It's also like the Black Eyed Peas song, now, isn't it?
My humps.
It's an lumps and humps.
I fucking hate that tune. I've always hated that fucking tune. It was such a shame because I liked their first. It was like their second album. I quite liked it at the time, and then they brought out those, and they was just so shit, and then it was just downhill from there. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Black Eyed fucking Peas, for God's sake. Cerements of the Flayed. what a way to end your album. I mean, it's a crusher, isn't it? It's a fucking crusher.
Yeah.
You know, proper fucking sludge fest. Oh, it is beautiful. And yeah, would you say this album's too long?
Yeah, I think it is. I guess it's because I've gotten so used to all the new releases by death metal bands now being either EPs or like 30 minutes long. Especially being into brutal death metal, right? Even the old albums are like 26 minutes long. But
right.
I guess it doesn't have the same sort of monotony as a brutal death metal album. Like a 26-minute long one that I know of is like in Cranial Impalement. But the monotony of that one is just for the entire fucking album. It's just the same vocal throughout the whole thing, isn't it? Yeah. Whereas this one, it definitely changes. But I do think for a death metal record, it could have benefited from. I mean, there's nothing I would remove or no songs I'd remove. It's just
that was the point I was going to make.
Yeah, there's no songs or no parts that I'd remove. It's just maybe I've gotten so used to consuming music in such a short time span and being able to move on the next. I had that issue with Morbid Angel where they had like 50-minute long albums, but then again, some of those albums were bad.
Yeah, like the thing is, I wouldn't ever say anyone was wrong for thinking that this album was too long, because like 42 minutes is, you know, it's a fair chunk of time to be listening to something that is constantly heavy, right?
Yeah, it's just the issue is I can't, like, you say that and then often people go, oh, what would you remove? I'm like, nothing. There's nothing I could remove.
Like, I think that there is enough variety on this album, and the kind of enough change of pace, like different songwriting techniques, like to the point where I do find it like continuously engaging. Like, I don't like every song as much as the next one, but there's enough in the way of like legitimately fucking great material, and like I don't think there's not a single song on here that I would say is weak. It's not like that one song off the Sangui Sugabog album where I was like, no, I would get rid of that, like outright. Like on this, there's nothing here that I would get rid of. Like maybe if I was going to be finicky, I'd maybe get an editor and snip some songs, maybe make things sound a bit more. But even then, like. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, there's enough here. Like, I think it's perfectly all right. You know what I mean? But EPs, there's a reason why they have kind of risen to prominence over the last few years, because it does make sense if you're going to be, you know, heavy, you're going to be brutal all the way through. It makes more sense for it to be in small chunks, you know. But at the same time, like, I do appreciate the fact that they do go through a lot of different modes here. I mean, it's only a band like Cannibal Corpse that have been around for 30 years, like literally 30 years, and have, you know, like entire trends in metal have been and gone in the time that Cannibal Corpse have fucking been here.
Yeah.
Right? Like
they always said that they never change to get big. They've never really changed anything and done anything that people wanted them to do. They've done everything just because they felt like doing it. Speaking of which, that came out of Paul Mazurkiewicz's mouth. Let's talk about the drumming on this album. Once again, he's in his 50s and he's stepped his fucking game up.
Yeah, dude. Mate. So when I think of this guy's drumming, right, like the thing, I'm so fucking glad you brought this up. But like, I always think of someone who has he has a very specific way of blasting. And even though it's not particularly technical, it is perfect for what Cannibal Corpse is. It sounds kind of heavy-handed.
I know I've said so much about Cannibal Corpse and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But apparently he was like one of the first ones to popularize the fact that when you blasted the hi-hat, you'd have your hands like this instead of crossing over like that, like you normally would just playing normally.
Yeah.
Because it offers like that. You go into a tom fill.
Yeah.
No need to fucking cross. And he was like, I mean, no, sorry. Dave Lombardo did the double bass thing really fast, didn't he?
Yeah.
But this was like constantly throughout entire songs that he was doing double bass, whereas Dave Lombardo was like in bursts, like on the edge of death, right? Where But Paul Mazurkiewicz is like all the way through, just straight blasts, nothing too fancy. I mean, the guy's got a very limited drum kit. He's got one hi-hat, a snare, 2 double bass drums, 2 rack toms, 1 floor tom, maybe 2 floor toms. I don't know. 2 crashes and 1 ride cymbal, or maybe it's literally just 1 crash and 1 ride cymbal. I'd imagine it's 2 crashes. So being so limited in what he can use on his drum kit, he doesn't. It kind of makes it so he's limited on what beats to play, but he's varied enough and able to make it still sound interesting. He does lots of tom fills. I mean, on this album, he's just like going through toms like they're fucking nothing.
I really think that he might be the MVP of this album, because like when I think of him, I think of someone who, like, he plays with a lot of character, even though he's not the most technical drummer. But fucking hell, man, he is getting busy on some of these songs. Like,
yeah.
He definitely is doing way more shit in terms of fills than he usually does. Like, yeah, and like the speed, like he's going at some speed on some of these too. And obviously, occasionally he gets into that stomp that he's so good at, and he does do some of that like fucking. That blasting, which that's what I always associate with him, is that particular kind of blast. But his drumming on this, I mean, blast. This is a guy who's like 10 years away from being an OAP, and he has legitimately just fucking stepped his game up.
I mean, it was scary because I mean, it's been a while since Torture has been out. There have been albums since. But did you watch the videos of them making Torture?
No, I didn't.
On Metal Blade. Oh, like obviously the first video is drumming because that's the first layer of a song, and on the first track he started and his fucking back just like creased up. He had to be on like one of those stretching things where it like stretches your whole back out.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like, because he was, I mean, obviously this catches up on you with drumming being the most physical one. He has to be the one that's in shape the most and trying to keep himself healthy because. I mean, vocals, right? You just gotta keep those lungs and that diaphragm and that throat healthy, and all that shit. Whereas guitars, you could actually just sit down and play. Not that that'd be as entertaining, but I guess guitarists we fuck up our necks a lot. Bassists, same thing. We fuck up our necks. We give ourselves self-induced whiplash. But drummers they're running marathons each night, especially this guy.
Especially fucking death metal drummers, man. You know what I mean? Like the best death metal drummers are legitimately freaks of endurance. You know what I mean? Like this stuff requires you to be in like legitimate tip-top shape. Like you can't fucking slack and be a fucking extreme metal drummer. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, everyone says that Paul Mazurkiewicz looks like he's dying whenever he's playing drums. He's just like this. He's like that all the fucking time whenever he's playing drums. It's
absolutely
fucking like brutal as fuck. But yeah, this guy is I thought it wasn't gonna like improve anymore after because I think his last big improvement that I know of was what's that album? The other one about an infectious disease, Evisceration Plague. Because for the videos on Evisceration Plague, he totally changed his way of playing drums. He changed his beaters to the ones that came with the Axis kick pedals because they're the hammerhead ones. So he thought they should be lighter, and that would make him go faster. And he actually played drums to a click track, which playing to a click makes you way more precise, which adds to the blast beat that Paul Mazurkiewicz for of the da 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 of just being super on point. And for him to improve again in his 50s, like I said, fucking the fact that Corpse Grinder did it vocally, and now Paul Mazurkiewicz has done it as far as the drums goes. That's like, it's insane.
Well, this is the thing. So many bands who are this far into a career just go, you know what? We'll do another album.
We'll do the same thing.
We can take it out. We can tour it. We can play some new songs off of it at our shows, and we can play the
hit. They kind of did do that on Red Before Black, in my opinion. That was one of the ones where it's kind of like, we'll just put an album. But like this one was like, we're gonna do a fucking album, and we're gonna make it good.
I really like Red Before Black. Like I think, to be fair, the one thing I always remember from that is like that one lyric, like fire up the chainsaw, hack their fucking heads off. Like it's just like oh, it's so
Which
good.
One was that? Is that I also remember Only One Will Die, because there's a pretty sick riff in that one.
Yeah, no, I really like Red Before Black. I know a lot of people reckoned it was a little bit like I guess it was them kind of treading water a little bit, but I like Red Before Black. But like for me, like I remember like one of my favorite one in terms of recent. I'll go whether I like this more than this other one now. Man, Skeletal Domain, I think is fucking amazing. Like I think that's one of their best fucking albums.
That one has the song High Velocity Impact Spatter, right?
Yes.
Or
yes,
like chucking bodies off of places. Dude, in the fucking Centuries of Torture thing, right? There was 3 DVDs that came with that. I don't know how long it's been since you've watched it, but I
have seen it
multiple times and within a very short span. But yeah, the second DVD is live videos. The first one's the history bit. And the third one, they talk about like random shit. And one of them is all their song titles. And they have this like big sheet of different song titles that they come up with. And they're just looking at them, laughing at each one because there's like shit like Drink My Piss, Bury the Mortician, shit like that. And often they find one, then they laugh at High Velocity Impact Spatter. And everyone thought it was funny. Because then a few years later, they come out with High Velocity Impact Spatter on a Skeletal Domain. I mean, it's a pretty funny song title. And also a pretty funny song subject of just, my ritual is to chuck bodies off of high places.
Nothing wrong with a body just splattering like it's a fucking bunch of watermelons in a bag.
Yeah.
You know, it's always good.
It's pretty satisfying.
It is. And I mean, you know, as someone who
we sound like we're talking from experience. We have not experienced this. My
experience is death metal and horror movies. like you know, I love a bit of gore. I always have done. It's good fun. Hence why I do like this band. But now I guess we've got to get onto the business end of things and try and fucking rate this album, which I mean, I can rate it. First off, I've seen a lot of talk online about this being the best Cannibal Corpse album. Some people are saying like Kill, like this is the best one since Kill. Some people, there's a lot of talk that this is the best one in at least a little while. Oh wait, are you still there? Hello? Fucking internet.
Frozen again.
Oh no! Wait. I think we're still recording, which is fucked up. I don't know what's going to happen there.
So
I'm not sure what's going to happen there. If it's going to have a bit in the middle, which I might have to cut out or what. But yeah, my internet is fantastic. But anyway, it says we're still recording. So what was the last thing you heard me say?
Last I was talking last actually.
Oh right. Okay. Well, I was basically going. Okay. Well, I'm going to go into the business end of things and say we have to rate this album. But first off, I want to say, do you think this is the best one in a little while? Because there's been a lot of talk on the internet about this being the best one in a while. Some people are saying
some people. It's very divided. This album is very divided. So many people, probably just to get some clout of all the big Cannibal Corpse fanboys. Some people were like, I saw so many people going, oh, this album is shit. This album is shit. This album is shit. It's not shit.
Fuck off.
Fucking mouth.
How the fuck, mate, how the fuck is this album like? How can anyone with the full knowledge that this is like a band in their 50s that have been going for 30 plus years and they're putting this out? If you think this is shit, fucking like check yourself before you wreck yourself, homeboy. Shut the fuck up. Like that is so dumb. But yeah, I've seen some people say this is the best one since like Torture. Some people say it's the best one since Kill. Someone even said that this is the best one since Vile. So there, you know. So there's a lot of talk about how good this album is or isn't. Where would you place this in their back catalogue?
For a second there, that was probably me. You lagged out there.
All right, no, it's cool. But where would you rate this within their catalogue?
I would listen to their entire catalogue. So I'll quickly go on Spotify and look at the names of the albums and see which ones I know and which ones I don't. I think the only one that I really haven't listened to is the Skeletal Domain. You know what? People say best one since Torture. I'd say ranking it against the Skeletal Domain, Red Before Black. I think it's definitely better than those. No doubt,
Fair.
no doubt in my mind.
Fair
I'd
enough.
agree. Best one since Torture, but not like they've really released anything bad of Torture, because they haven't released anything bad.
Because a lot of people say that Kill is kind of like their career renaissance, like that, and that's kind of the bar in terms of like more modern day Cannibal Corpse, and that's like 2006.
Evisceration Plague rips the fuck. Like,
but this is what I mean about like Cannibal, man. Like people like the opinions on like what albums
also
are the
I mean
best.
they have a lot of albums. So,
but the opinions on what albums are better than the other are all over the place amongst the fan base, which to me proves that they are a fucking unbelievably consistent fucking band. Like ridiculously so. Because I think a lot of it comes down to personal preference. Like I fucking love Torture because Torture is where they got a hell of a lot slower and chunkier.
Also, Torture has Scourgifying on it.
Yeah, but like in general, there's loads of.
It also has Intestinal Crank. That was pretty chunky.
Yeah, there's a bunch of chunk on that album. I fucking love Torture. But you know, and a Skeletal Domain has some really great like lead work on it. So it depends on what you're into, because they do kind of just take on a slightly different version.
Yeah, you know
of what they do.
Cannibal Corpse. What was I going to say? What was going to be my comparison? Is it a good comparison? Let me quickly think about that one.
I'll let you do it.
Probably not. I could really use any type of search sound to compare it, but it's a bit like going to the hub. Everything that you might want is there.
So, I mean, you know, that's the thing. You've got a whole buffet of choice of
there's also some stuff that you don't want, but that's just particular songs.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no record of theirs that I would call straight up bad though. Like I don't think there is one. So, but I mean, in my opinion,
bad.
I think this is. Do I like this more than the Skeletal Domain? Because to me, that's probably my favourite one of the more recent ones.
I really like the album cover.
The album cover is one of their best album covers. I know it's not particularly cool.
There's one Cannibal album cover that I do not get along with though.
What's that?
The Bloodthirst album cover. I know it's like brutal as fuck, but it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I've never been mad on that, and I love Bloodthirst. I think Bloodthirst is their most underrated album.
Bloodthirst, the title perfectly describes what the album's about.
Yes, exactly. You know, I mean, it definitely works in terms of that. But I know what you mean. That's I'd probably say that's my least favorite one in terms of a cover too. As much as I love that album, but do I think this is better than Skeletal Domain? I think I'd have to listen to it more, really, but. For me, there's just no getting around the fact that this is a fucking legitimate, like, a high point in a career that is 30 plus years. I think the only comparable band in terms of like longevity and extremity is Napalm Death. And even then there's differences because Napalm Death have sort of gotten more experimental as time's gone on, whereas like Cannibal...
Yeah, Napalm Death have changed. I mean, what they started then off as Harmony Corruption was a thing where they were far more like straight death metal.
Yeah,
and then now they've got songs like A Belly Full of Salt and Spleen, which is
where
you know
they've gotten like really experimental. Like at points they get really post punk too, whereas like Cannibal Corpse have literally remained a death metal band for the entire time, playing like different sort of flavors of death metal, but they are a death metal band through and through. But they're still releasing fucking brilliant material, and I don't think there's another band that have been just a straight up death metal band for that long that have done that. Like it's fucking phenomenal. So even on the merit of that, this album is an absolute triumph to me. Like it's definitely one of the better albums in their more recent fucking back catalogue. It can go toe to toe with any of them, really. You know, I mean, like I said, it all comes down to personal taste. But yeah, what a fucking record, man. I've legitimately had such a good time listening to this and getting my fucking groove on. It's excellent. Like it's devastatingly fucking heavy from a band that have no right to still be this heavy.
Yeah.
They should
into the career.
They still sound fucking ruthless, like, which is which is insane. And I think Rutan coming into the fold has really done them good. I love what Pat did. Like, you know what I mean? Like Pat's rich style of riffing.
Yeah, I mean, Pat is an insane guitarist as well, right?
Exactly.
The riffs he writes are almost as difficult as a solo would be for most bands.
Yeah, exactly. But
when he had a part where he just showed people how he wrote riffs, and he says, "Oh yeah, just mess around with stuff like this," and he just said, "It's like, that's not fucking messing around. That's like literally just, I have to use so many brain cells to do this shit," and he's just got like fucking guitar Tourette's, and it's just natural for him.
Yeah, no, that's a man that hasn't put his guitar down for like 25 years. You know what I mean? Like 25, 30 years. But again, like Rutan coming in. We've had the yin and the yang, the white and the black.
Yes.
Yeah,
the woman and the man. I'm trying to get us views.
Everyone likes cats, even if they don't like Cannibal Corpse. But yeah, no, fucking what a fucking band. Long may they reign. That's all I have to say. Honestly, long may this band continue. If they still keep putting out stuff into their 60s, that is a fraction.
I will be impressed. They've gone on longer than Slayer, playing something more extreme than Slayer.
Yeah, like I mean, if this is one of the final albums, fucking great. If it isn't, fucking great.
It's a good note to end on.
Dude, if this was their final fucking record, this would be amazing, like an amazing swan song. But I'm hoping that they put out at least a couple more, because this band are a treasure to the world of death metal. Let's get to rating. I remember on that one episode.
Oh, you remember them? Do you remember the names of them?
So one of them was Rotten Bean.
Yeah, we both remember Rotten Bean.
Rotten Bean, and then it was fucking All Juice No Bean, I think. No, yeah. All Juice No Bean, and then it went Boiled Bean, and then it was Perfect Bean. But that's only 4, isn't it? I think you came up with 5.
There was one more. Cold Bean would be in the middle, wouldn't it? Cold Bean would be
yeah. So I think that was literally it. So Rotten Bean, All Juice No Bean, Cold Bean, Boiled Bean, Perfect Bean, right?
Yes, so perfectly heated bean.
Yeah, just an excellent bean.
So I still call it Perfect Bean because some people may think it's still cold. Fuck that. We just call it heated bean. So don't do that. Leave it alone.
All right, a heated bean. Okay, so I'm gonna give this album like a 4.5 out of 5, which is
I've just had a thought.
What?
Being that usually we review pretty brutal stuff and usually death metal because that's like our main place, is Rotten Bean better?
Well,
do we go with what actually tastes good, or do we go with what's the knowledge?
No, we go with what tastes good because we are the Bean Cells podcast above all else. We worship at the altar of the bean. Yes,
what a sad life we lead.
Fuck no, man. We're getting like a bunch of minerals in a tasty package. Fuck them, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to put jam on my toast. I want some fucking beans. But
Jam's dumb.
I fucking love jam, but it's not better than beans on toast. But yeah.
We digress. We should just have. We should have an episode of us just talk about beans. That'd be great.
To be honest with you, mate, I think it's on the fucking cards. So we'll definitely have to see about that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, you're starting to lag out a little bit, so I'm gonna say. Yeah. But so I'm going to say 4.5 out of 5 for me. I think this is like an unfucking real album for some band this far into their career. So I'm going to say this is a warm bean. A warm bean.
Okay.
Not a nice warm bean. Not a perfectly heated bean. Because like I said,
it's not on the scale.
It's not, but it's 4.5 out of 5 for me. I think this is ridiculously good.
Rating's always one of my least favorite things because I can.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm just going with my gut, but to me, this is a 4.5. I think it's fucking brilliant.
I'd say oh damn, maybe. I mean, this is like because Cannibal Corpse haven't really done much different. I'd say it's like generic Cannibal Corpse, but done well.
Yes.
This is probably one of the better things they've done. So I wouldn't say Cold Bean because I was about to, but like that's just half. That's like generic Cannibal Corpse. So I'd say 4 out of 5. I'd say it's a nice boiled bean.
All right. So a 4 from you and a 4.5 from me. So this is a really fucking good album. And in case anyone has just listened to us talk and ramble on about an album they haven't listened to for some reason, if you haven't heard it,
you weirdos.
I mean, that actually is weird. I don't give a fuck that I'm calling out my audience. Why would you do that? But now you have a reason to actually go and listen to it. Because fucking hell, I mean, like, if you were into death metal in any way, this is a legitimate must listen. It's fucking Cannibal Corpse, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
People who say they don't like Cannibal Corpse are liars.
If you like death metal and you say you don't like Cannibal Corpse, I don't know what to say to you. It's one of those things. It's like, okay, fine, I guess. You can move to the other end of the room from me now. I don't know if I want to really know you.
You don't worship the first 4 albums? Fuck out of my way.
Well, if you can't fucking worship even more than that, they're a fucking Cannibal Corpse. It's like, come on, man. It's like, that's all you need to say. It's fucking they're like one of the undisputed kings of this shit. Cannibal Corpse. But yeah, fucking good album.
Yeah, see, they're so good that they have almost the fucking Slayer of death metal. Because everyone goes Cannibal Corpse, don't they?
Yeah,
so,
but
it's kind of like
in a sense, in terms
Slayer.
of this is the thing, like their consistency. In terms of consistency, they're better than Slayer. In terms of consistency, without a fucking shadow of a doubt. Dude, fucking the last couple of Slayer albums were arse. like the last
was Repentless was boring.
Repentless was fucking shit, mate. Like I actually remember being bored during that record. This is, like this is the reason I gave this album a fucking 4.5, because it's like, for an album to still sound this fresh and this hard
when they're in their 50s,
like, come on, man, like how can anyone say that album shit? What a fucking band. But right, that's enough of the Cannibal Corpse, because next week,
week, actually, you're very excited. This week, I'm excited. This was my idea.
And I
people
love
might
you
not
for
like
it.
us, but fuck you guys if you don't like these guys. You love them as people if you don't like their music. They are the most excellent people around.
We're doing the Black Dahlia Murder discography ranking. Yes, we are. I'm both so excited.
They released an album last year, so we know there's nothing else coming out. I'm also terrified. Like, how the fuck am I going to rank? Like, we just talked about another consistent band. Here's another one. Yeah, that's what I was literally about to say. We're going to another one, like the most popular modern type of death metal band, like newer, like modern death metal band, probably the most popular.
Yeah,
right,
I mean, and one of the most consistent bands in metal's history. Like, how the fuck am I going to rank these? I'm going to have to legitimately sit in a darkened room with my head in my hands. Okay. But yeah, we're doing the Black Dahlia Murder next week. So we're going to be getting our TBDM on all week. And then, you can come and see what you reckon, what we reckon of the melodic death metal overlords discography. It's gonna be fucking fun. It's also gonna be terrifying, and we're gonna talk about all things to do with them.
Hopefully, we can somehow, by doing this, convince Trevor to come on here with us.
Oh, if we did, I will cry and come at the same time.
I said if we did, we'd probably spend like a good 15 minutes just staring at him like,
hi.
Oh, this is after
this
15 minutes,
real.
one of us would go, hi.
How did you write the lyrics of Climactic Degradation? I love you. Can you come live with me? Like I just embarrass myself.
When you come to the UK, could you don't drink alcohol anymore? So could you do a shot of beans with us, please?
I would.
That's genuinely something that I want to do when COVID breaks down and we can actually do gigs and stuff. I want to have interviews with bands if they don't mind, and at the end of it, we just chug beans with them. It'd be great. It'd be great.
Or make them some beans, and then we eat some fucking beans with them. All right,
we just have some beans for the fucking thing. That would be a great idea. But either way, that was our review of Cannibal Corpse. What did you lot think about it? Did you think it was good? And next week, this week even, because it is a Monday, we are going to be doing the Black Dahlia Murder discography ranking, which I'm hyped for. And you should be hyped for it, even if you don't like the Black Dahlia Murder. It's more bean cells for you.
It's more bean cells than you know what to do with. Straight up. But yeah, this has been Bean Cells. I don't know what the fuck this is going to do with the recording, but we'll see. Stay brutal and eat some fucking beans.
Eat some fucking beans.
Peace out, home boys and girls. See you next week. Bye.